Hey, beautiful people. So I want to come here today and talk about engagement. I'm getting a lot of questions about engagements and, who writes my content? Well, that will be me. And also about, the most questions I get is about what to do when your content doesn't resonate with your people and so on. But I also want to talk about connection, and I also want to talk about artificial intelligence and the algorithm. So I'm doing an event on the 27th called Thrive in 5, and I teach people about the human connection, how to really talk to people, how to launch your offer that you want to be aligned with your beliefs and what people need right now, and how to launch your offer in order to be able to sell your offer to one-to-many, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So let's talk about how I do content and how I get conversions, how people drop in my inbox, and just generally connecting with me. This is what I do, and this is what I teach my clients, how to just authentically show up without the hassling and the chasing energy and without any tap dancing, okay? I just don't like that energy. I don't feel it's productive or effective, and more importantly, it's not necessary. So I wanted to come over here and talk about Facebook algorithm and artificial intelligence. So the most question I have is when people don't engage with your content, what is it and how we can change that, okay? So I feel a lot of people are invested in the algorithm, and we have to stop chasing the algorithm. And one of the reasons I will tell you is don't pay attention to the algorithm, because I don't. Too many people are trying to please a computer, a machine, the algorithm, or artificial intelligence instead of actually trying to connect with a human. So I see a lot of information out there where people are talking about the algorithm, the hacks, and the ChatGPT, what time to post, when to post, what kind of content to post, and people are exhausted and probably confused to chasing that. And they're still not seeing a real connection that they desire. People aren't raising their hands and get zero engagements when they post their offer or program or their content, okay? So you kind of wonder. So how can I help people with that and give them some clarity? And if you want to hop on my next event, you can do that on the 27th of March, where I will be covering content besides the thing like the never-ending agonizing idea about how to create an irresistible offer. We tend to create offers thinking that people will buy, but they actually don't. So you need to make that decision. And I would say, fuck the algorithm, because you are really here for the people. Because when you show up and look like you want to connect with people, it's like you're actually dealing with humans and not an algorithm, and you get a more human response. So I never really do what day to post, what time to post, how much to post, using any monthly content planning. I just show up and I have a real conversation, because I want to be a human on this platform, not a machine, okay? So what you hear is the algorithm likes a certain type of content, and you should like other people's posts for you to be more visible, do reels, do videos, do Alex Hormozi style stories. God bless, everybody's doing them. But really, how can you shift your engagement for people to really get to see you? And there are usually three things that I'm going to go a little bit deeper here. The goal, first of all, is we are not going to extract things from people. This is a big part of the problem. We become very transactional and think what's in it for me instead of the other way around, like building a community. Everyone is trying to figure out how to make money, how to attract the right clients, trying to figure out how to get people to pay attention. And people pay attention when you have something that is valuable, when you have something that is helpful and powerful, when you can connect with people. So the goal is connection, and connection with a human, not a machine. My approach has always been around three things, and then the fourth that I will talk about. But first of all, the thing is, showing up as a real human is my key. And this is contrary to what most people will tell you or teach you, that in order for people to take you seriously, you need to have a fancy website and a pretty logo, and your branding has to be on point. And this is not how I move, yeah? I literally sell more things now without a website. And I literally just started my branding now after 6-figure months. So for me to show up to my audience, it's much more important than a pretty website, because I've been busy building a relationship with my people. So really ask yourself, what is it that you do? Why can't you go from A to B? I mean, what the heck is going on? What is your offer? And what's going on, basically? How are you showing up, okay? So you need to understand when people get to like you, and understand you and trust you, I think is way more important than a pretty logo or a website or a fancy funnel. I think what we were taught is to tap dance to the algorithm and creating a persona and doing gimmicky things. And, you know, for me, it's always been a long game because the truth is these tools are flaky. They have a different goal that you and I have. So when you're starting to talk TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, these people are constantly trying for you to be addicted on those platforms because it is designed for advertising. It's designed for them to buy, to get you to buy stuff. But this is not what you're here for, right? So I guess a lot of people are trying to get you to sign up to their programs and courses and mentorship and that way, but you're not one of them. So rule number one is building a relationship. This is about building a community because not everything is about trying to sell. It's really about going back to relationship building, to a community. My motto is I don't need to convince or manipulate anyone to buy anything from me if they don't want to. I trust I'm going to be okay and continue to educate my audience. My work is to be steady and to be in my integrity and to educate. So I don't work around fear, around trying to get you to try to buy something from me or trying to convince anyone to get anything from me. So I'm really just showing up about connecting with my people and serve the ones that need me. So the other thing is being real. So when I talk about being real, it's about being authentic. I don't talk about triggering people off and getting my algorithm to being controversial. I just want to let people know that I'm a real human, just being open and transparent with valuable conversation in a way that I'm not manipulative or icky. Again, the goal is community and relationships. So when you show up real, you're not going to trying to create this fake persona, right? You're not trying to be a lifestyle brand. But what I tell people in my community is that everyone is selling a lifestyle. So when I show up real, is what is the lifestyle that I'm trying to build? Me, what I stand for is like, I like freedom. I like ease. I like liberation. I don't like shallow fake things. What's more important to me is integrity and connection, compassion and collaboration. So being real and get people to know you, it's also reinforced that the relationship and build that community. Again, the goal is not extraction. When you make the goal, I need to prove, I need to chase, I need to convince, everything is skewed off, everything. Your energy, it's funky and flaky, okay? Because it's scarce, energy is competitive, your energy is desperate. And the energy, I don't bring any of that. I'm coming here to be a community. That's what I'm talking about, being real, about relationship, about connection. And I want to resonate with people that are on the same level of energy with me. Too many of us are trying to portray something as opposed to just be, okay? So what happens when you shift from the energy or just trying to prove? I do move in a certain way. There are principles to my connection. And all my work is value-driven, and I lead with that. So none of it is manipulative, and I'm not going to leverage everything in my life by trying to portray myself in a certain way. So a lot of my stuff is different. I don't see me going live every day here because, you know, I've got better things to do. I'm busy serving my people. I want to be doing the work that I do with my people. I also don't have the energy or the desire to do so. I'm not trying to be an influencer to get people to like me. The other thing I see is people are trying to come to social media to use their audience to get validation instead of serving them. I'm not here for validation. I'm literally coming here to serve. My energy is clear, okay? Not funky. I'm always coming from a place of power because if you're going to be a coach and if you're trying to sell a program or a service, you will need to be able to be a leader. It can't be what you're trying to get from somewhere, from your audience or from your algorithm. You have to be able to have a healthy sense of detachment so you can show up and do that. So relationship, being real and create that resonance, okay? So guess what? The algorithm isn't going to do that for you. The algorithm will change. They're always chasing it. They're always tinkering with it. 1 week is video, then it's reels, then it's commenting other people's posts. What if you start moving a little bit more intuitively and be more in tune with the people that you serve? What if you could figure all this out? What if you knew how, okay, to leverage these tools? And it doesn't have to be Facebook or TikTok. for you to work it out what it is, what's important to you people, and how to weave that into your communication so that they know you, they understand them, and not just seeing them as a lead and trying to persuade them in a manipulative kind of way. I personally care about people, I serve, so I pay attention. It's about connection, it's about relationship, it's about moving all that and not trying to please Mark Zuckerberg and his machine. And of course, as a digital marketing strategist, I'm clear how all those things operate, but I don't want to teach that part, okay? Instead, I teach about connections. I want to maintain a sense of integrity and a sense of self. That is the thing that creates the engagement. When I look at the people I know get real engagement, myself included, is about the consistency. There is this community, there is this connection, there is belonging. There's also truth. I see people changing content because they hope to be controversial and go viral with their topics, but just that all they're really doing is pissing people off. They're not being authentic. They're not just trying to generate a response instead of sitting in the confidence of the work that they do and the results they provide. So it's all of those things. What do you need to be relying on? Okay, so you need to be relying in building a relationship in the results that you get. These things transcend all these platforms, they transcend all the timelines, no matter what social media tools they're using. And people want connection and they want to know how you can help them. And are you the one that will be able to take them from A to B? So it's really about pulling back all this stuff. It's like peeling an onion all over again. If I can leave you with anything today, is really fuck that algorithm. It will change. Show up, serve, be real. Everything I do is about the connection, okay? Everything because I care. So inside Thriving 5, I will show you how I build a connection that cultivates trust and anchor. If you have a product or service that helps people to go from A to B the fastest possible way on a private jet and not on a broken bus, you need to be a leader, okay? You need to be able to anchor and to have a presence that needs to be trusted. There are ways to build trust. And what I hate the most is when people teach you stuff that everything is taught about being manipulative and extract people from doing things. And I'm like, that's not my goal. My goal is always to show up and to be able to serve and to invite the right people into my world. And, people will be teaching you to be controversial and polarizing. And let me tell you something, the truth is polarizing enough as it is. You don't need to make it up. The algorithm of human connection will never change. The relationship building will always remain the same. So if you're chasing Mark Zuckerberg algorithm, I can guarantee you it will keep changing and you will feel unfulfilled because of it. Relationships are different, have different characteristics. There is care in the relationship. There is an exchange in the relationship. And I'll talk a lot about that in my live event. And then, of course, you will need to enter the aspect of selling, because let's be honest, we all sell something, and you do need to find a way that feels comfortable to you. You do have to show up. You do have to get attention. I personally believe competition is very noisy. Things are noisy. People have shorter attention spans, so you don't have a lot of time to get attention. So how you're paying attention, how humans move, not just how artificial intelligence moves. AI is a poor imitation of a human, and some of those social media platforms is a poor imitation of a human that sometimes doesn't have a lot of integrity or concerns or compassion for folks and has a different desired outcome because it's a machine. So we're going to talk about that during my event. In Thriving 5 is really pulling back the veil. How do I get engagement? How do I sell my offer? How do I show up energetically doing what I do? Also, how do I connect the way I connect? And a lot of times, is being able to tell the truth. The truth will set you apart all the time, and everyone is not ready for the truth, okay? So show up authentically. I show up where I show integrity, because I don't do bait and switch. I'm out of integrity if I do that. So we're going to cover all of that. No more pretending to be someone on social media that we're not, just to get certain people to like us or look at us. You got to trust that your people are out there, and you don't have to create a persona to attract anybody. My clients don't have to change their personality. They don't have to lie to get clients. They don't have to beg or manipulate anyone to get clients. If anything, it's the opposite. Having different boundaries is how we are making decisions and how we're leading at that high level. So you're a leader that is trusted, okay? So the algorithm is not the reason for your success. You're not shadow banned. It's just that people will engage to your comments if it matters to them. So the question I have is, are you tapping into what actually matters? Or are you only looking at yourself trying to please the machine? So people ask me, I don't like showing up. Is your program for me? No, we have to show up. We are building a relationship. We can't hide behind anything. You don't have to be on social media all the time, but at least you need to post something that matters to your audience. But the relationship, as we know, takes time, right? So just like any other relationship in your life. So if you're trying to build a funnel to rush people into your offer, remember, I had people that buy from me that have spoken like 5 years ago. I have some people that buy from me now, but I don't do dash for cash. And so we need to be a bit strategic. And I do teach how to move in these spaces. But remember, not everyone's going to buy from you, but they will remember you, maybe how you made them feel or what you did for them, okay? So I'm going to be talking a lot about this stuff in Tribe in 5. And I'll also be talking about the #1 mistake that most people do when it comes to client acquisition. What is my process that gets me to sign up one-to-many clients rather than doing all that flaky stuff with getting one client today and then experience like dry season for months? And how launch virtual events with gamification. So super cool topic. So ask yourself, what do you people really need? Okay, at the end of the day, people need to reach their goals. They have a problem and they need it solved. And you could be that one that will take them from A to B, again, on a private jet, not on a broken bus without air conditioning, yeah, because that's what they're scared of. They're scared of abandonment. So the algorithm cannot be your goals. It's about connection. It's about being heard. It's about building that relationship, serving and leading. So it's about all of that. It's a whole package. I'm also going to cover about how to build a real relationship without giving it all away. There's a way to do that, and that is by showing people the transformation part of it, rather than just teaching them too much about what it is that you do and what you provide. And the last thing I will say before I jump off is that you really do have to get your energy clear. So many people are not clear about their energy. They're not clear what their intention is when they show up here, or their only intention is about scoring likes and comments and extract and manipulate. Again, yeah, not a nice energy. And I'll be honest with you, you don't always get to choose how people engage. You will be surprised to see how people engage with me. It's sometimes through email or through Messenger, or they just want to hop on a call with me and I don't necessarily know them, or they haven't necessarily liked any of my posts. But really, engagement is how this person is relating to me or to you in the content that you're providing. It's also making sure that I'm not that attached to that, yeah? So my energy is clear. I'm moving integrity. My self-esteem and my confidence is not tied to this stuff. This stuff is a long game, and this stuff is real humans on the other side, okay? I think what's getting attached to this algorithm and ChatGPT and all the other stuff is that the belief that you're not talking to real people. And yes, you are. You are dealing with real people. I never approach social media as these people aren't real, or these people don't matter, or these people don't have real pain or needs, or they are not my real friends, okay? There are levels to relationships, and there are levels of the amount of trust that is built. And we have to stop dealing with all that fake and false intimacy. You are building a relationship with your audience, and it's not a transactional way of being. It's getting out of this transactional way of being, okay? So too much of how we have been taught, of how marketing people are teaching you how to show up on social media, is to be transactional, is to do trick stuff and to go through persuasion tricks. But what if you stop doing that and starting to really want to relate and understand and to build relationship and to be real? That's how I am moving. And that's how I have been able to fill my programs. I have done posts where I literally get 33 clients in one post alone, just from one post. I post something and I get over 300 people putting their hands up. It's because I'm paying attention, because I care, and I'm talking to humans, not leads. I'm not manipulating people or use all those marketing strategies. It's just hideous, okay? So the algorithm doesn't teach you that. Learn how to read the room. If you pay attention to the algorithm, paying attention to the algorithm is automatically going to disconnect you with humans, because you're connecting with a machine. You'll be going all day trying to please that thing, trick that thing, and she doesn't care because she's not human. And some people say they're bored with the same thing, right? Well, it's because everyone is doing the same thing over and over and over again. The same shit gets regurgitated and it's getting boring after a while. So who are you? What do you stand for? What are your values? What are your goals? Who are you showing up? You know, how are you showing up? I don't care what other people tell you to do. They all do the same crap. So if I'll be you, I'll probably be doing things a little bit differently. You have a very unique blueprint or a DNA. And because, you know, be you, because people are just starting to check out with all the same. It's exhausting, man, it's exhausting, yeah? So just be yourself. Look, it's interesting how people call me the no-nonsense mentor and a controversial mentor. I never see myself like that because I always feel I speak the truth. The fact that people think it's controversial is perhaps I don't follow the algorithm, who knows? But my work is rooted, okay, about helping people get free and be successful. So I got there, tell the truth and how to be grounded and have integrity, because that's how you become a good leader. So please stop chasing the algorithm and use artificial intelligence tools and start using your heart and your brain and go on a more deeper level, because chasing a machine is going to give you those mechanical results. And when the algorithm changes, you'll be stuck. But learning how to connect and relate is never going to change. So that's all for today. So reach out in the link below or above, whatever I put it, and let's be good leaders. Yeah, let's be an example. So we start on the 27th. If you have an offer or service, let me show you how you can start contributing and reaching out to people that are currently probably needing your service. They just don't know how to find you, or maybe you sound a little bit like everybody else. If you prefer to DM me, please do so. I love you, beautiful people. Thank you for coming all this way, right till the end, listening to me going on. I don't often come here live, but I just felt I needed to address this issue because it's just driving me bonkers. And I hope to see you during the event. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.